Good morning. And welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Fort Myers. At UU-CFM, our mission is to love, serve, and grow together as a community. We practice community as a verb. It's an action. To practice community means to be actively present to, open to, kind to, and understanding of each other. Open to everyone regardless of race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, national origin, gender identity, gender expression, religion, or spiritual path. Know that you're welcome at UU-CFM, whoever and however you are. We invite everyone to celebrate with us the mystery of what life is in each moment. Today's theme for this service is to live out of your imagination, not your history. And I think that's a great theme because it really embodies the practice of community, I think. Thich Nhat Hanh used to invite his community to breathe as one body, meditate as one body, walk as one body, flowing like a river with no more separation. Letting go of the superiority complex, the inferiority complex, and the equality complex. And so if we let go of being superior, inferior, and equal to, what's left, right? If nothing is limited by our past, by our history, by our story, then everything is possible. All that's left is our imagination and a sense of wonder, I think. Some might call that true freedom, to not be bound by a story from the past. My name is Andy Solis, and I'm honored to be here to support the community's worship this morning with Reverend Sue Gabrielson. Also celebrating with us is John Letts, our organist, our growing choir. Wow. Whose voices lift us up. Thank you to the great tech team, Brian that's in the booth, and everyone else that makes this hybrid service happen. Without their dedicated service, UU-CFM would not be able to offer this service to those that can't attend in person or have gone back north for the summer. So thank you again to the tech team. If you're new to UU-CFM, please complete a connection card. That's what I did when I first arrived. It was a great way to get in touch with people. They're found in the narthex at the welcome table. And if you're joining us on Zoom, you can write something virtually in the chat box. And then also please join us in Hobart Hall for coffee. Actually, today is potluck, for a potluck lunch. And pick up a yellow coffee mug so that everyone will know that you're new and you'd like to get to know some people. Everybody will try to say hello. If you're attending by Zoom, please keep your microphone muted and refrain from posting in the chat unless prompted to. And with that, now let us all flow as a river.
Good morning. In the midst of the whirling days, in the hectic rush to be doing, in the frantic pace of life, pause here for a moment. I invite you to catch your breath. Relax your body. Loosen your grip. Consider that our lives are always unfinished business. Imagine that the picture of our being is never complete. Allow your life to be a work in progress. Do not hurry to mold the masterpiece. Do not rush to finish the picture. Do not be impatient to complete the drawing. From beckoning birth to dawning death, we are in process. and always there is more to be done. Do not let the incompleteness weigh on your spirit. Do not despair that imperfection may mark your every day. Do not fear that we are still in the making. Let us instead be grateful that the world is still to be created. Let us give thanks that we can be more than we are, and let us celebrate the power of the incomplete. For life is really always unfinished business. We begin our time together as Unitarian Universalists do all across the country and the world by lighting our chalice. Here we are together, bearers of imagination, creators of new worlds. It is our imagination that lifts us beyond despair, that whispers, "What if?" and dares us to answer. Today we gather to renew that spark, to embrace the power to dream. Come, let us imagine boldly and worship together. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able, and let us join together in our covenant. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our opening hymn, which will be on the screen and in your hymnals, number 38, Morning Has Broken. Seated. Our cleaning person this morning said to me, "Would you like some help getting rid of all that trash?" I said, "Thank you very much, but not till tomorrow." I do have a story to read. It's very short, entitled, "What to Do with a Box." In this very clever book, it says, you can open it once. A box, it's a strange device. You can open it twice. You can lock the door with a magical key, invite your dolls to come in for tea. You can drive in that box all around a dirt track. You can sail in that box off to Paris and back. A box is a wonder indeed, the only such magic that you'll ever need. You can paint a landscape with sun, sand, and sky, or crayon an egret that's flying right by. You can climb inside and read a book. It can be a library, a palace, or a nook. So come for a visit right now, right this day. I've got a grand box just so that we can play. This month's message, theme, is imagination. What can you do with a box? What is something that's ordinary in your life, or perhaps in the church life, that could possibly become extraordinary with imagination? If our congregation were a box, what could we possibly turn it into? A portal to a better world? A ship for a shared journey? A sign for protest? A box for new seedlings? A container for community dreams, or perhaps to collect food? A gift for the future? I'm going to challenge you, either alone or in small groups, to turn this trash and these boxes into something new. You have 6 minutes. But then you can bring it back to your space if you'd like and continue during the service. So come, choose your box, together or alone. There's all kinds of very cool tape and markers and stickers. Use it all up. Use it all up. Better together than alone. If you are at home on Zoom, I challenge you to find something ordinary that's right around your space and thinking about turning it into something extraordinary with your imagination. Please join. We will work for 6 or 7 minutes, and then at the very end of the service, if you would like, you will be able to share your imagination with the rest of us. Do not let the incompleteness weigh on your spirit. Do not despair if there is imperfection. Let us celebrate the power of the incomplete. But I will invite you to share at the end of the service, and feel free to come up at any time if you need more supplies.
One of the many wonderful traditions here at UUCFM are the stones of intention. The setting of intentions is a fundamental practice to living a life of purpose and meaning. And formally setting our intentions is a way of setting, I think, our true north. And it gives purpose to the kinds of things that we spend our time, our energy, and our money on. And then frequently reflecting on, do my actions of body, speech, and mind, are they really in accord with my intentions? I think it, for me anyway, is a wonderful way of keeping myself, on the path. Setting our intentions as a community is a very powerful experience, and it was something that really moved me the first time I was here. And it's very inspiring, I think, to see a community come together and set their intentions. Because the collective energy of a community's intentions, it changes each of us as an individual as well, and changes those around us. The kinds of intentions and the breadth of the intentions is limited only by our imagination, right? A couple of Sundays ago, Gary Robbins had mentioned the Bodhisattva vows, and these are just, I think, ways of setting our intentions. And he had mentioned the third one, which was the enlightened way is incomparable, and I vow to embody it. The first one is, sentient beings are numberless, and I vow to save them. How we go about that, it requires that we use our imagination and not be stuck in a box. We have to think outside of the box. If you have a stone this morning, I invite you to hold that stone as a symbol of what your intention is. Maybe hold it close to your heart. And I invite you to set your intention to walk the path of love and understanding, compassion and service that is so central to this congregation. During the musical meditation, please come forward and add your stone to the bowl with the candle. And if you didn't pick one up in the narthex, there are baskets with other stones here up front that you can pick one from there. If you're online, you can place a virtual stone of intention in the link in the Zoom chat box. So please.
God, place a final stone for all the things that we hold close to our hearts. Let us be mindful of the power of love and of community to heal and to uphold life. Blessed be, and amen. Let us join our hearts in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Let us open our minds and our hearts to this place of quiet, of safety, of community, of imagination. The silent prayer, the stone, for the healing of pain, for the celebration of joys, for insight into all that is complicated and troubling, and for the soft, gentle coming of love that we hold in the center and frees us from everything. Feel free to remain seated as we sing a reflective song, number 1 in your hymnal. May nothing evil cross this door. Live out of your imagination, not your history. This quote is attributed to about 15 different people when you look it up. Perhaps it was Stephen Covey that wrote it first, but who knows? It asks us these words: live out of your imagination, not your history. To rethink how we move through the world. It's not an invitation to deny the past or forget that it exists, but to let something larger than our past shape who or what we are becoming. As Unitarian Universalists, we celebrate and lift up what we call the living tradition. In your hymnal on the front, the name of the hymnal is called Singing the Living Tradition. We are a faith that evolves, that learns, that grows, that changes. We are not bound, as so many faith traditions are, by a creed, by something literally carved in a stone. But rather, we are guided by principles that call us to be compassionate, justice-loving, truth-seeking people. It calls us to use our imaginations and to continue to become. How fortunate we are. But let's begin with our history, our own personal histories. I want you to think specifically, as I ask some of these questions, about you. What are the stories that you tell yourself? The roles that you've played? The wounds that have been inflicted upon you or that you carry? What are the mistakes that haunt you? The labels that you have been given by others? There is wisdom in these stories that we tell ourselves. Our past can teach us, ground us, remind us of where we have been, but our histories can also trap us. Have you ever heard yourself saying something like, that's just how I am. That's just me. Or, it's too late for me to do that. I'm too old to change. Or perhaps you've heard yourself or thought to yourself, I've already tried that once. Not doing that again. Or thought, I'm not the kind of person that does that. I am not the kind of person that comes up and picks up a box and puts tape around it and makes some silly thing. I'm not that kind of person. These are the echoes in your head that masquerade as truth. They are only partial truths because you are not a fixed entity. You are not your resume, your trauma, the victim of bad parents, your track record, your family history, the oppression of a religious tradition you grew up in. You are not even your beliefs entirely because you are becoming. You are still a possibility. And possibility lives in imagination, not in history. Possibility lives in imagination, not in history. I'm going to say all of that again, just in case you weren't listening. No, that's not true. I'm going to say it all again, but I want you to think about this congregation now, not yourself. Let's begin with history. Our congregational history, the stories we tell about UUCFM, the amazing things the congregation has done or the roles that the congregation has played for better and worse. The wounds that this congregation has felt and carried, the betrayals, the mistakes that have been made, the labels others put on top of us. There is wisdom in these stories. Remember, our past can teach us, ground us, remind us of where we have been, how far we have come. But our histories can also trap us. Have you heard or said anything like this before? That's just the way we do it here. That's just the way we do it. It's too hard for congregations to change. We have a long history. We can't change. We tried that once. Didn't work. Tried that fundraiser, tried collecting pennies, tried collecting food. I don't know, tried cutting the shrubs in a certain way, tried this kind of seed in the garden. Didn't work. Our congregation doesn't do those kinds of things. That's not who we are. We don't do that. Won't work. These are the echoes of history masquerading as truth. They are partial truths because we are not static. We are not only our written history and our past brochures. We are not the betrayals that have happened, nor the conflicts that have erupted. We are not even our beliefs entirely, because every Sunday we evolve and we are becoming. To live out of your imagination is to say, what if there's more for me? What if there is more for us? More healing, more love, more trees, more courage, more capacity for joy, more coins, more change, more service. Imagination is holy. It's what allows us to forgive, to hope, to know that justice is possible. Every movement for human liberation began not with a historical fact, but with an imagined future. It began not with history, but with imagination. A world that didn't yet exist, but could. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream, not a memory. And so it is for us. But imagination takes courage, because living from your imagination means risking the unknown. Often it means letting go of the comfort of familiar pain in favor of unfamiliar joy. It's really true. It means being willing to fail and try again. Not because your past proves you can, but because your vision tells you it's worth it. To do it again, to try it again. Something new. As a religious community, we are called to live from our collective imagination. We can't just ask, what have we always done? We must ask, what are we being called to do now? What kind of congregation will you become and continue to become to change the world? What would it look like for this community to live more fully into love, equity, and spirit? We are not the stewards of a museum. We are the gardeners of a living tradition. And our faith, like each of us, needs imagination to thrive. So today, I invite you to honor our history, but not be ruled by it. Tell the stories, but do not let them be cages. Be brave enough to imagine more for ourselves and for this world. Because living from our imaginations and not our history is the sacred act of creation.
I have to say, wow. That was so moving. This service, this community, and this campus would not be possible without your generosity. I come from a tradition, a Buddhist tradition, that where generosity is considered a fundamental quality of mind to develop, like compassion, equanimity, wisdom, and we look at generosity as a practice. It's considered one of the great perfections that we strive to embody. It's also a practice of letting go of our attachments. Obviously, our attachments to things, to money. So it's a practice for developing an open heart and one that is always of service. So today, the cash donations will be shared with our sharing partner, which is Love Your Rebellion. I think they were here last week. They serve underserved communities through the arts. We'd also like to thank those that brought food for the potluck this afternoon. So there's lots of ways to practice what's called dana, generosity. There are different kinds of generosity, right? And maybe these days, one of the most precious things to all of us is our time, right? To share our time with each other in community is a way of being generous. Being here, I think, is actually being generous to ourselves because it enriches us. So please take this opportunity to practice dana, to practice generosity. Generosity and for the sake of being generous and to develop an open heart that seeks to serve. Thank you.
Please rise as you are able in body or spirit and join with me in the words of gratitude. By the work of our hands and the work of our hearts, our love is made real. May we be grateful for all that is given and grateful for all that is shared. Please be seated. We're not going to extinguish the chalice right now. Sorry, I'm going to go out of order. Because what I would like to do before we, sorry if I'm messing everyone up. Poor Jeff is going to be like, what are you doing? But we have a little bit more to do, and I don't like to extinguish the chalice till we're actually done. I would like to hear about your boxes. Who has something they want to share about their box? Where has your imagination taken you? What is it?
It's a psychedelic giraffe.
Excellent.
We made a Lenovo computer.
Whoa. Who knew? Out of a box.
I nested all the small boxes so that someone else can have some imagination as they're opening to find their present sometime.
Ooh.
This is a grow box. You plant things in it.
Ah. Any boxes back here? Oh, there's a box back here.
This is a diorama of our campus. There's a sun and some water and some rocks and some grass.
Woohoo! You guys are amazing.
Hi, this is basically just flowers, but I made each one different because each one is relative to us.
Excellent. Are there other boxes? Lift up your boxes.
This is
You need the mic so that our Zoom people can hear.
Yeah, Meg and I made a gift. We took our stones of intention, which happen to be the papal colors, white and gold, inside. It is dedicated to all sentient beings.
Oh, thank you so much. Go ahead, Barbara is right behind you.
It's a dice, so that you use your imagination, roll the dice, and hope for the best.
Woohoo! Excellent. Are there more boxes? Do you want to show us your box? Hold it up. Oh, it's beautiful. Excellent. Are there more boxes?
This is our peace box that represents the power of love and community to heal, and everything is interconnected.
It's beautiful. Oh. I'm getting my exercise this morning.
This box holds a seed of hope, a seed of imagination, a seed of courage. What will these grow in you?
And this little box has a big idea, and it has little stones in it, and it is for stone soup, so that we all add our little stone to the soup and make something really delicious right here at UUCFM.
This is a little fairy nest. It's not complete yet, but all the beautiful trees in Southwest Florida and a little red-brown carpet going in. So more work to come on the little fairy nest.
Excellent.
This box is a gift to the congregation. It's addressed to the Unitarian Universalist congregation. And I have to open it up. I don't want you to have to struggle.
That's very good tape. You might need a teammate to help you with that.
Yeah, that's part of it. You see.
Wendy hasn't been around for our present opening service. She would be perfect.
I actually love wrapping boxes. Inside it says, I love you.
Perfect. Any other boxes to share? All right. Now, if you would rise as you're able. We will sing our closing hymn, Extinguish Our Chalice, but we're not done yet. So let us extinguish our chalice with the words that are listed on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of good. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our closing hymn is number 114 in your hymnal or on the screen, Forward Through the Ages. May the angel of the imagination enable you to stand on the thresholds at ease with your ambivalence and drawn in new direction through the glow of your contradictions. Please be seated. We are so excited and happy to welcome 4 new members of the congregation this morning. I would like to invite Christy Caldwell, Casey Blackgrove, Wendy Oliver, and Wendy Summers to come forward, please, along with our membership team. When we welcome new members, they are given a gift that contains the 5 smooth stones of religious liberalism. And just as a reminder, for those of you who have received stones before or who have not heard of this before, these stones were spoken of by James Luther Adams in an essay called Guiding Principles for a Free Faith. He provided the structure by which we can best explain our liberal and evolving tradition. So in your bag, there is a stone of reminder for possibility, respect, justice, power, and hope. These are your touchstones, literally, a gift by which you may remember this special day in the life of this congregation. I'm going to briefly introduce each of our newest members, and I would invite you to look for a longer introduction in your communicator tomorrow. So Christy Caldwell is so happy to have found UUCFM. She was born and raised in Westerville, Ohio, near Columbus, in a Methodist family. Her parents, who were married for 72 years, church was a social obligation in her small town. She left Christianity in her early teens, became interested in the metaphysical, lived in a private resort island in the Southern Caribbean for 10 years, where her 2 sons were born, and she raised them as humanists. She has attended Unity churches in Orlando. She married a Jewish man and attended a synagogue. You bring all the denominations with you. She's also lived in Argentina and in Europe. She recently returned from living in Mexico for 5 years, where she was a member of the UU Fellowship. There's a lot more to you. She's got 4 wonderful grandchildren here in Florida. She continues to work by editing, rewriting, and translating books written by her Mexican partner. She performs in and produces concerts for different Mexican charities. She hopes to share her time, talent, and treasure with UUCFM. Casey Blackgrove is very excited to share that she is happy to be at UUCFM. These are also 2 members of the choir, did you notice? That's the growing part of our choir. She recently moved here to work for Chico's Corporate. She found the congregation shortly after moving here. She grew up in a very strict fundamentalist Christian church that has always felt wrong. So since leaving that church, she was called to be a pagan and has been practicing by herself for years, but missed the community of church. So she found UUCFM one day and couldn't believe how everyone was so kind and welcoming. Everyone she's met here has been lovely, and she is so excited to join. Wendy Summers arrived in Florida 6 years ago from Pennsylvania. She came with her husband and sister. She grew up in the Episcopal tradition, and as an adult, she had really no interest in religion until she got sober in 1982. She would introduce, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read her handwriting. And I was prepared, but she began, after that, she began to have interest and looked for a new congregation or church. So her sister and she went to all the denominations that she could find. And we are so glad that you ended up here. She knew that she was in the right place the minute she arrived at the Unitarian Universalist congregation. So welcome, Wendy. And Wendy Oliver. So I have to say, this is one of my favorite stories. I'm sure I will tell this for the rest of my life. Wendy visited John Worcester for the first time in 58 years after they had dated in Oswego, New York. 58 years ago. It's been 1 year now, right? 1 year. She wrote a letter, right? She wrote him a letter after 58 years. She had been widowed after 47 years of marriage to Jeff Oliver and was wondering where her life would take her next. John brought her to the UU congregation, and they have been attending together since then whenever they're in Fort Myers. Her official residence is in Johnson City, Tennessee, where she's been a member of the Unity of Tri-Cities for many years. She also grew up in the Methodist Church, but often attended an Episcopal church. She dropped out of church altogether as a young adult until she discovered the Unity Church in Jacksonville, Florida. Wendy has participated in connection circles and the personal spirituality class since attending UUCFM. She's also taken the DreamWorks class and is hoping to work on some social justice projects soon. She is also a quilter. There's a lot more to Wendy as well. But we are so glad that you and John are both here with us. That is a fairy tale story. So all of you can come over and officially sign our membership book next to your names. And the two Wendy's. No more Wendy's and no more Marys, please. It's too confusing. Wonderful. Thank you. Right, you can.
So thank you all for joining us today. What would the world be like if we all lived from our imagination rather than our history? Living from our imagination instead of our history is freedom. Without the old story, everything is fresh and new. So please join us for the potluck and conversation in Hobart Hall to your right as you leave the sanctuary. Don't worry if you didn't bring anything to share. There's always plenty of food. Use your imagination and sit down and talk to somebody that maybe you haven't spoken to or haven't chatted with in a while. And if you're new, again, please take a yellow coffee cup. And so everyone knows that you're visiting, and we'd love to get to know you. For those of you on Zoom, we're glad that you were able to join us in the spirit this morning. And if you'd like, please stay for Zoom informal conversations online. And if you haven't already completed a connection card, please do so, and that way we can be more connected to the community. After the minister and the worship associates have left the sanctuary, please feel free to greet your neighbor during the post loop.